migration is becoming a global challenge. How can you make sure that migrants are integrated at the best in their destination countries?
Hi, I'm Marcel. How do we feed the population that will reach 9 billion in 2050 without putting too much pressure in our ecosystem?
Climate change will cause a redistribution of water around the globe. How will the international community make sure that food and hydropower production remain unchanged in the next decades?
Hello, my name is Simon. I'm concerned about the fact that people continue to live in large cities in areas prone to natural disasters. How can we make sure that people are aware of and prepare for these risks?
Hi, I'm Nikolai, and I have a question. How can we raise awareness among men on all levels of our society of gender equality issues, and how can we sensitize them on to the importance of empowered women for the prosperity of our world?
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a great lunch and that everything is going well. So I am very excited to be moderating, of course, and chairing a very exciting panel. This panel is called The Power of Youth, and it's an interview with two changemakers. So let me begin by introducing changemaker number one.
No.
Ladies first.
Before we start, not for me, but before we start, I want to ask a little favor from our audience. Can we all stand up?
Including us?
Yeah,
oh, please. Let's all stand up. Okay.
Please. And thank you. I wasn't expecting that everybody stand up.
Amazing.
So it's a good thing.
Excellent.
So please turn the person next to you, probably that the ones that you don't know, and like have this little eye contact.
Hi. Really a pleasure to meet you and look into your eyes.
And this is the thing. And please congratulate him, her, and each other for being here for 2 days and actually working towards a better world and get to know each other.
In Turkish. Tebrikler.
Thank you for being
here. Thank you for being here. Yes. Tebrikler. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, because we are a global. See how the interaction is started.
Yeah.
Woo! Changemakers.
Yeah, I mean, we need to sense each other on a regular basis. I think I don't have the sound.
Yeah.
No sound? Is this sound working?
Yeah. Try.
I was saying that actually on regular basis as change makers we need to sense each other and eye contact is the first step actually to sense each other and to start a collaboration. And let's jump to the topic.
What a wonderful introduction. I'm blown away. I'm sure you all are as well. So, yeah, let me look into your eyes and introduce you as changemaker number one, Duygu Kambur, Head of Strategy at Imagare. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Changemaker two, I've been practicing his name for a long time, Bura Çelik, Director of Imagare. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now, just very quickly, introduce yourselves. Who are you? What do you do? And then we're going to watch a video to see them in action. So, okay, please. Men first.
Okay, thank you. My name is Bura. I work at Imagare. Actually, I'm also an entrepreneur since 18 years old. But I feel like I'm more of a movement of this millennials. Y generation, that we are looking for a purposeful work. The things that we do, we are looking for some meaning out of it. So this is how I come across with Imagare.
Okay, wonderful. Duygu.
Yeah, I was also those millennials who is looking for meaning in the work, and I was working in a corporation actually. And then I realized that the entrepreneurial mindset is not very welcome in big corporations. And I was looking for the impact that I can create while I'm working. And then I quit my job and I went to a journey through education. I took a master in innovation management and entrepreneurship, and this is where I actually come across with social innovation and entrepreneurship, and it was like a wow moment for me to see the potential within the problems and with an entrepreneurial mindset, and how we can transform those negativities into the business models and into the good things while working. And this is also how I decided to come back to Turkey, because I was
where were you?
I was in Berlin for my education. And this is how I decided to come back to Turkey when everybody was trying to move out the country.
Excellent. What a brave person to quit your job and launch yourself into the unknown, basically.
Yeah, and when I come back, I also come across Image, and this is how we started to change the world a little bit in Image.
But in a nutshell, Image is an incubation hub, correct?
Yeah. Actually, it's we call it social innovation platform, but all these jargons, all these terminology, what we are trying to do is finding these change makers and bring them with resources to tackle these social and environmental challenges.
Fantastic. Time to see them in action. Let's play a video to see them in their natural habitat.
Image is the child of 3 different organizations. One of those is Atelier, the other one is Zorlu Holding, and the other one is S360.
What we're trying to do in Image is, with the right people, with the change makers, how might we change these organizations to create social and environmental impact?
We are mainly focusing on incubation program, which is designed for social enterprises. And in our incubation program, we are targeting SDGs, and we are supporting the entrepreneurs who are working on SDGs field.
Sustainable development goals have also a financial aspect of it. So we need financial resources, not only the good projects, change makers, but also the financial resources that we need. So my concern about the private sector, are they going to be able to change their mindset of competitive way of doing the business to more collaborative way of doing business?
I want to raise the question to the participant that how we can actually create real collaboration within the corporations, so their efforts can be more effective in social innovation field in Turkey.
Okay, there you go. Now, I want to kick off by asking, how does the work you do relate to the topic we're talking about, the SDGs, and why is it so significant, and why should we all care?
Okay. First of all, in Image, we have 3 pillars that we are trying to focus on. The first one is the capacity building, the second one, the community building around social innovation. And the incubation program is our 3rd effort, and in incubation program we are designing the whole program according to social sustainable development goals. And the incubation program that we are running is 7 months, and each month, in each cycle, we are targeting one of the goals, and we are having a call to the social enterprises who are working on those fields. In the first cycle, we worked on quality education goal, and then the second one, now we are running the gender equality process, and we are working with the 10 teams who are trying to find different solutions to the gender equality issues. Mm-hmm. So this is how it is related to sustainable development goals, and it's also giving a framework for all of our partners that it's creating a neutral area it's creating a discussion opportunity for all partners that what we are doing, because if you have SDGs, such a compass, it's actually very easy to understand for all partners what we are doing.
Excellent. So you incubate for 7 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And why is it so significant?
Actually, right now, what we are witnessing, what we are seeing in the world is that we are doing things collectively that threatens our existence. And when we look at the history, we are not here because of we were like fastest or strongest. The things that we got here was the collaborative work to overcome all these challenges. And actually the image is the representation of this collaboration. In Anatolia, we have this one word for the collaborative efforts to solve the community's shared problems. So this is actually...
what is that word?
Image.
And image means collaboration, right?
Yes, collaborative work to take care of the challenges, to tackle of the challenges. So this is what we are doing actually, how we can redefine the image word as a concept in 21st century.
Okay. So how is the private sector helping you? We had 4 very heavyweights from the private sector here on stage before. They talked a lot about what they're doing. Are they really helping you?
Yeah, actually...
or not them in particular, but other private sector companies.
One of our co-founders is Zorlu Holding. Zorlu Holding is one of the biggest family conglomerate in Turkey right now. And they were looking for new ways, sustainable ways to invest their corporate social responsibility budgets. So this is how we met actually. So now when we look at it, as we started with millennials, right? Now all these corporations have millennials coming to the managerial position, and also for these wealthy families. Now there's millennials in their boards. So we are lucky in the Zorlu Holding. The whole corporation is really serious about trying to see that change with the society. So, and Emre Zorlu is also our champion in the family. We call him and we ask him, okay, let's go to other corporations. Let's go to other families to invite them to Image and to work together.
Great. So you have one of Turkey's biggest companies, and you have one of the top people just there at the end of the line helping you. Okay, now let's talk about specifics, case studies, examples. Give me some success stories. Who have you helped in these 7 months of incubation here in Turkey?
Yeah. I can give an example from the process that we are in right now, the teams from the working on gender equality issues. One of those teams called Kızlar Sahada. And Kızlar Sahada is a social enterprise empowering the girls through the soccer game. The founder of Kızlar Sahada, Melis, disturbing the male-oriented field, the soccer field, by creating a space for the girls as well. And she is now creating an academy for the girls.
This is a football academy for girls. Football, by the way, of course. Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
When they on the field, the girls, the young girls on the field, actually it is the time that they realize actually the football is not a male-oriented sport, and the sport has not a gender at all. And this is how they actually questioning the all gender roles, which is like directed from the society all the time through their ages, through their young ages. And this is how they actually reject the gender roles from their young ages. So we are seeing this social enterprise mission very important and supporting them to create this academy for the girls. And the other one can be Kök Basmane. They are now creating an interaction environment for refugees, for refugee and local women in Izmir, and they are now creating a business model for them how they can work together and create a wealth for their own environment. And they are collaborating with the municipalities as well. So it's going to be something new, I guess. I hope if we can manage this model in this specific space in Izmir, then we can have this blueprint in other cities to create interaction space for the refugee and local women to earn their own money through their model.
Excellent. With 3 million refugees here, that's an incredible success story.
The pattern that we have here, all these success stories, these entrepreneurs, they are coming from the field. They know what is the problem. For example, with the Kök Basmane, that refugee women, displaced women, and the local women coming together, the team, they used to work in the border of Syria. They have this war gastronomy strategy. They work with the women escaping from Syria, and they are doing therapeutical kitchen work.
Amazing.
So with that experience, now they want to scale to other cities. So
and how will that scale now? Is that being looked into?
Actually, that's the thing. In our incubation program,
this is what we are trying to do.
Excellent.
Now we're going to have pilot version in Izmir, and then we want to scale it with them, of course.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And there was another one we talked about yesterday, a virtual space library. Tell me about that. I love that example.
Actually, one of our change maker, he's this young teacher, and he was working in far east side of the Turkey, far east side of the Anatolia, with the 5,000 students in one small school. He realized that the things that he mandate that to teach to them is nothing that kids are interested in. The questions, the curiosity wasn't there. So
there's no curiosity at school. That's what the teacher was seeing among the students. Okay.
Yes.
So how did he tackle this?
And then he came up with this method. Basically, the kids are in charge of the classroom, and they are collecting their interests, their questions, and they are matching each other. So this is the way they are creating their own content. They are creating their own education system. And now in 7 government schools around Anatolia, they are testing, prototyping this.
Education bottom up.
Yes.
Amazing.
And one of the projects that these kids developed was they built a space library, basically Astro library, and they occupy an empty space in the school, and they turn it to the library, and the books in the library is written by the kids as well.
So kids writing books, amazing. Now, my last question before we open up the floor to questions. What does success on the road to 2030 for your organization look like, and what obstacles could you face? Duygu.
It's actually kind of a hard and not a hard question to answer. I would say that...
and be frank, speak openly.
Yeah.
Don't
okay,
hesitate.
I will. Are you ready?
Yeah, we're all ready.
To be able to create decentralized learning communities, tackling the social issues by entrepreneurial approach. This is the thing that we want to scale over the region, over the time, because we need change makers all over the places who are actually tackling their own problems. So we want to first empower them with our tools and training programs, so they can actually sense what is the real problem in their local environment and how can they approach it with collaborative way. So, scaling over the region with this approach will be the success for us.
Just very, very quickly before I ask you about this, is there a culture of entrepreneurship in Turkey, or is there? I know I come from 2 countries. In one of mine, the UK. Everyone starts a business, or there's such support for entrepreneurs. My other country, Spain, there is such a sense of failure is not an option, unlike Elon Musk says, and there isn't that entrepreneurship. What is it like in Turkey? Is there, go, start your own company. If you have an idea, go, do it.
Actually, we have, comparing the region, we have an entrepreneur ecosystem, but it's growing slowly right now. Government has a lot of supports to the ecosystem, but what we are trying to do is to change entrepreneur mindset, not to focus on an e-commerce or mobile app that nobody is going to probably not to use, but
in 2030.
Yeah, let's focus on the real problems that needs to be solved through entrepreneur.
Okay, and answering my question, roadblocks to achieving success in 2030, and what does 2030 success look like for you? Very briefly, 10 seconds.
Actually, like the trouble that the question is, are we going to able to fast enough to collaborate effectively to bring meaningful change? This is the question. Like, is this going to be fast enough before 2030? So
maybe it's not long enough then, you think? Not enough years?
Yeah, but we need to act really fast, and we need scale. That's why private sector or governments are really important to bring that scale.
So if you're listening, governments, private sector, you've heard it here. Right. Questions, please. Don't all jump at once. Any questions from the audience? You've got a great example of millennial entrepreneurship here in Turkey, a country of 70 million people. No questions. Oh, one question from the front. Please identify yourself first and question, not statement.
Thanks. Hello, my name is Afshan Khan. I'm with UNICEF. I was very interested in what you raised about building a culture of entrepreneurship, and you mentioned your astrolab at school. What do you think it would take to cultivate that in schools in Turkey, that whole sense of how do we create a problem-solving type of mindset in schools?
Perfect question. The solution that we are working on right now to scale this is actually the community of the teachers. Right now, almost all of our projects in our pipeline are building a community for their cause. So for example, the Space Library has this network of teachers. They are exchanging their best practices, their learnings, and now we see these teachers taking this concept to their own school. So basically, instead of waiting for the state to act on it, so it's better to have real cases than go to the government. So basically, the community, power of the community.
All right. Any other questions? Over here.
Hello, my name is Seçil. I'm coming from Bahçeşehir University Co-op Directorate. So what I would like to ask is that maybe like the Unilever example. So what they do, as Mr. Harm expressed, they go to the primary schools and just enlighten these kids about the hygienical education, etc. So just because at the beginning of the conference, as mentioned, by 2025, 75% of the millennials will form the professional life. So I was wondering what kind of action you plan, maybe just to widen this approach to the maybe high school and university students. Thank you.
Should I start with
the youth?
Yeah.
Actually, this is also a question in our mind. Was a question in our mind how we can how we gonna spread this spirit to the youth, to make them feel that they have another option, not just the corporations, not just traditional entrepreneurship, but doing business and also having creating an impact, creating a social good. And now we are working closely with the high school and university students to create a roadmap together to have this decentralized change maker youth community over the high schools and the universities. So in soon, I hope, we will be launching this project as well with different high schools and universities.
And actually, the millennials at the workforce are critically important for us, because when a corporation talks about the change, it becomes not marketing anymore, because they can't lie to their own employees, which they want to see a change. So this is one of our tier of change, actually, to create an employee engagement program to change that organization for good.
Excellent. All right, let's bring this to a close now. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for this very exciting and really showing a different side of Turkey, of SDGs that I think many of us may not have known about. So thank you very much. Please join me in giving a round of applause to this panel. Thank you.
Thank you for having us here.
And now we will prepare for the fifth panel. So we're going to change the stage, so do bear with us for a few moments. All right.